Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds. So today we are making a low carb, high protein bread. Okay, so this is like a cloud bread. This is something that you can use to make pizza. You can make sandwiches, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, literally any type of sandwich that you want, you can use this bread. Now, when you originally start trying to lose weight, like this is you starting off, you're like, okay, I wanna change my life. I wanna eat low carb. How am I going to get through this, right? Because one of the first things that is eliminated is bread, pasta, rice. If you are trying to eat low carb on this new weight loss journey, then you're more than likely not gonna be able to eat bread unless you go and look and search to try and find like a bread loaf from the grocery store, right? Which nowadays they definitely do have them. Some of them, you might have to try here and there with textures, because that's one thing about low carb foods or low carb breads is that they're not gonna use regular flour. So you're either gonna get like an almond flour bread or a coconut flour bread, or maybe a combination or whatever the case is. So this one here is much, much simpler. You probably have these ingredients in your refrigerator and it's easy to make, okay? So we are gonna have to blend. These are our two main ingredients right here, okay? So we have the cottage cheese. And if you are someone who is like, Myra, no, I cannot do it. Like, I do not like cottage cheese. Trust me when I tell you, you cannot taste it, okay? You cannot taste it. There's no funky texture. You can literally make any type of sandwich with this. And what is gonna stand out is whatever you put inside the sandwich, okay? So I'm gonna make like a single serving. You can definitely double this, triple this, depending on what you wanna use it for, because if you're already gonna do this process, you might as well make it for the week. You know what I mean? You can freeze it and then reheat it up, whatever the case is. So let me show you how simple this is to throw together. Now you will need a stand mixer or a mixer or a whisk or something, because we are going to separate our eggs. Okay, so we are going to put the yolks in one and the egg whites in another. Yeah, it's gonna give it the rise that we want in a bread, right? Because if you just mix it, then it's gonna end up being like very low and a little more dense. So in this case, it's gonna be nice and fluffy and airy. Okay, so that took a whole 30 seconds, maybe a minute, to separate the yolks and the egg whites, right? So we have egg whites, egg yolks, we have our cottage cheese, and then we have our seasoning. So what we're gonna do is start off with our cottage cheese. Now I'm using the 2%. You can use the fat-free, you can use whole, whichever one. They pretty much all work. The texture might just change a little, but this is the 2%. And then we're gonna toss in our egg yolks. And we're gonna use the whole egg. It's just so that the texture is better and it's nice and fluffy and airy. We're gonna start off with the egg yolks, okay? So we have cottage cheese, a little pinch of salt, some pepper. Now, of course, if you're going the sweet route, you wouldn't add any of this, but I'm doing a little garlic powder, and then we have some onion powder, and even a little Italian seasoning, okay? But just so you know, the seasonings are optional. Obviously, this is a single serving, but again, you can make a double, a triple batch, whatever. Just depends on what you want it for. You know, is it just for a single serving, or are we kind of meal prepping our bread? Okay, so this is what it's gonna look like. Now we're gonna move over here to the stand mixer, which again, you can do this with a hand mixer. You can do it with whisk, stand mixer, hand mixer, right? So we have our egg whites going in. And we're gonna do a half teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to whip this up. All right, so please don't judge me. I needed a quick boost of energy. Make myself a quick iced coffee. all good for you ingredients. This one is actually called Rise, and it's a mushroom coffee. So if you're someone who doesn't want, like you're more sensitive to caffeine, this one is great because it has less than half the caffeine of regular coffee. But it has like a ton of good for you ingredients like cordyceps, reishi. So I don't know if you know this, but mushrooms are actually really, really good for you. Like cordyceps is great for energy. Reishi is good for mood. Lion's mane is good for focus. Then you have shiitake that's great for your immune system. Turkey tail, that's great for digestion, and king trumpet, that's great for longevity. It's nice and creamy. It gives you that boost of energy, but it doesn't have all the caffeine that's gonna make you feel jittery. And you know how sometimes like it can upset your stomach? Like I don't get any of those symptoms from this, and I get to enjoy like a delicious coffee. And it doesn't have sugar. It doesn't have like, it only has 20 calories per tablespoon. It has like that good kick of coffee. So it actually tastes like coffee, but it's not like bitter. It's like so smooth. So if you're like an iced coffee person, this is amazing, but you can also do it hot. So it depends on my mood, but I know that I'm not gonna get like a ton of caffeine where I'm gonna feel like either a tummy ache or like I'm gonna feel like jittery. I hate that feeling, but I definitely feel like that really nice boost. So I even have a discount code. I'll leave it linked for you in the description below. It gets you 15% off. Just type in low carb love 15 and that gets you 15% off your first order. But yeah, if you love like a nice smooth coffee, but still has that rich flavor, this one right here is it. Okay. That was about a whole minute. Look at that. So we all know what stiff peaks look like. Once you're able to do this and you have the little peak, then you know it is ready. Another way is to turn it upside down. Then you know that it is ready. So we have our baking sheet, which we have our parchment already on here, just to make our life easier for cleanup. Okay, so we have our whipped egg whites. Now we're gonna mix it all together. Like with this step, your main focus should be to keep it nice and fluffy. Keep it as fluffy as possible, like keep it as airy as possible so that it gives it height. Okay, so now we're just going to kind of fold. So this is a perfect way to get in more protein, keep it low carb, eat like one of your favorite little comfort foods, which would be like a sandwich or yeah, whichever type, whether it's a ham and cheese sandwich, turkey or whatever. You can literally use this bread for any of that, okay? So that's pretty much folded all the way through. Okay, so ultimately, like you're eating this bread, so you can make one full sheet and then you can individually, you can cut it however you please. You can do like one big, like let's just say, I don't know, this is gonna be like one of your main meals or whatever. You can do this full sheet and then make like this huge Italian sub, or you get what I'm saying? Like it really just depends, but you can also make like a tuna melt. You can make a chicken salad sandwich, roast beef sandwich. I mean, like the possibilities are endless with this bread, okay? And the best part of it all is if you are trying to lose weight, you can eat this while still losing weight and hitting your goals and seeing that scale move, okay? Because I know, been there, done that, okay? I know how frustrating it can be to not be eating the foods that you typically eat. You feel like you're doing everything that you can and you still don't see that scale move. Super frustrating, I understand. So with things like this, just know that you're gonna be able to still get the results that you want while enjoying some of your favorite foods. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to get 6 of these little guys, okay? So these are gonna be, okay, and I'm gonna try, but do you see how fluffy they are? That's the cool thing. Like they still stay nice and fluffy, which I love. Because typically if you were to just mix this together, it's gonna be super runny. Like basically, it'll just be like a runny little hot mess. I'll show you once I'm done, but basically this is what I'm doing. I just place the batter or place the mixture and then just kind of shape it with your spatula. You can get like a little spoon or whatever the case. And then this is what you're gonna use as your sandwich bread. And trust me, it's the taste is very neutral, so it's not most people are like, oh wait, but does it taste like egg? Well, I mean, it's made of egg, so there's, you know what I mean? But it's not like, yeah, it's not like eggy. And whatever, like any toppings that you use, whether it's pepperoni or turkey or ham or whatever the case is, that is gonna be the star of the show. This, you have to think of it more as just like the vessel. You know what I mean? This is what you're gonna be able to stuff. And you can add lettuce and tomato and onions and like do mayo and mustard and add pickles and like you can do so much with it. It really just depends on what you're in the mood for, which is so cool. I feel like these are just really cool hacks. And you're going to still see the results that, you know, you should be seeing when you're on a weight loss journey. So, and these are all great too. Like if you have family that is doing like GLP-1 and all that, that is fine. Like share these videos with them because yes, these shots help and they do help you with curbing your appetite and, you know, whatever it is that these shots do. But people need to understand that ultimately the foods that you eat, not only on your journey, right? Because that's super important, obviously, to see the results that you want and to see that scale move. But it's also what you do after, right? And on top of that, if someone is taking the GLP-1, remember, they have to eat a lot of protein. And a lot of the recipes that I share here are super high in protein and low carb. So it's gonna help with their results. And it's also gonna help them get the protein that they need so that they don't lose a lot of their own muscle mass. So make sure that if you do have friends, family, you know, a tia out there that is doing it, please share my recipes because they can be really, really helpful. And on top of that, I also have my meal plan, which if you are struggling with your weight, you're like, I need help, I don't know where to start, whatever the case is, I have an ultra low carb meal plan. I'll leave that linked in the description below for you. And that I have everything in there. Like I basically hold your hand through your weight loss journey, what to eat, when to eat, breakfast, lunch, dinner, your snacks, sauces. I have a lot of swaps on there. Like I really, really just go into detail. Personally, I just feel like after reading that, you literally don't ever have to look for another weight loss guide, another diet, another anything. It's worked for me, for my daughter, for thousands of people. So if you're struggling, maybe you hit a plateau and you haven't seen the results that you want to see, then make sure you grab my meal plan and I'll leave that linked in the description below for you, okay? So look at this. I'm 3 in. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up and then I'll show you what it looks like before it goes into the oven. Okay, so I didn't quite measure them correctly, but as you can tell, we have different sizes. Okay, we have like a little pizza size, a little sandwich size, snack size, but ultimately like you can go as crazy as like, you know, in terms of measurements. I mean, I'm gonna eat these, so I'm fine with that. But my oven's already preheated, so it's 300. So it's at 300 degrees. I'm gonna put them in for about 20 minutes. We'll check them at like the 15-minute mark and then wait until you see how these turn out. They're literally perfection. And I feel like they're great for like breakfast, lunch, or even dinner. Alrighty. Ooh, these look nice. Look at this. At this point, they even look like pita. Do you see that? Look at this. You can make a pita bread. Now I'm thinking we can go shawarma, do some tzatziki yogurt. We have the cucumber, tomato, some pickled onions. Like go Mediterranean with it. Look at that. That has a nice little golden color, right? And these got a little, I let them get like a little crispier. It's just how I personally like them. Perfect crust right there. Look at that. Now, they are very, very warm right now. But just to give you an idea, sandwich bread, right? So you would do all of your, you do your mayo, mustard, whatever you typically put on there, your cheese, your, all the toppings, right? And boom, stack that baby on top. You can make like a mile-high sandwich. But look at that, okay? This is what I mean. Like this right here is what I'm talking about. Make a breakfast sandwich, favorite lunch sandwich, dinner sandwich. You can go either way. Or think of it like this as well. If you cook it until it has like the nice golden brown color, it's gonna have a tiny bit more, in my opinion, it just has like a good structure. Then what you can do here is also make it like a pizza. So you can also do your marinara, then top it with marinara, cheese, pepperoni, and then you can have a very, very low carb, high protein pizza crust. So you can go, basically what I'm saying is you can use this for anything, right? Just think of it, get creative. The possibilities here are endless. So I love this. They all came out really, really good. This little guy was a little smaller, but we expected that because we had others that were bigger. So, right, so this one was a little smaller, but even though it is smaller, this looks like a very normal size sandwich bread. So you can make them all smaller, and now you have kind of like a normal size sandwich bread for the week, right? So if you make a bunch of these, you can probably make double, because look at how big these are. I just want you to see like the comparison. So one is a lot bigger than the other. But anyway, what do you guys think? I want to know your opinion. Like, tell me. And also let me know, like, have you been doing low carb for a long time? Like, has it been years? Has it been months? Is today like your first day? This might be your intro to like low carb. So let me know and tell me what you think. Like, is this something that you could see yourself making? Like, could you definitely see yourself using this as a breakfast sandwich bread to make, you know, whatever it is? Like, I love Swiss cheese, so I'm thinking Swiss with like a ham or like a turkey, and then like an egg, avocado, maybe some salsita. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm already thinking of breakfast ideas for tomorrow. But yeah, I'd love to know what you think. Now, again, remember, you can also go sweet. So if you have like a low carb hazelnut spread, kind of think Nutella, or you have like peanut butter and jelly, like you can literally use this for anything. So I hope this helps. I wanted to just show you something that has been super, super helpful for me on my weight loss journey. And especially when I lock in and I'm like, you know, right now is the time to lock in. Summer is around the corner. So if you're already thinking like, we're not trying to feel uncomfortable in our maxi dresses, we're not trying to feel uncomfortable going to, you know, poolside with our kids or whatever the case is. So lock in right now. You have the time to do it. Grab my meal plan and literally go. Like, I'm serious. Now, the only thing I'm gonna say is make sure you, like, when you start anything like this, whether it's low carb, whether it's whatever the case is, just remember, you have to be consistent with whatever it is that you choose. Consistency is going to trump anything else. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you started and you're like, oh my gosh, Myra, I did this and like I fell off the wagon, and for the past 2 days I've been eating ice cream at night with like cookies and popcorn. Okay. That's okay, because that's yesterday. Today is a new day. Every day is another chance for you to start fresh and clean. Okay, so I don't care what you did yesterday. I care about what you do today and what you do moving forward. So if you ever go off plan like that, you're just gonna remember that does not matter, because tomorrow is a fresh start. And what you do daily does not matter. It's what you do weekly and what you do monthly. So always think of it that way. If you mess up, like royally mess up, then you're not thinking about it as a one-day thing. You're gonna think about it as a whole week thing or a whole month situation, right? So like one day in a full month, I don't care if you went crazy and ate burgers and fries and ice cream and then a funnel cake, and then you got home and ate a Twix and whatever, like it does not matter, because ultimately in the entire month, if you just had like 1 or 2 days where you royally messed up, and I'm not saying you should, okay? I'm just saying if you do, I don't want that to be the reason why you tumble down this dark hole of like guilt and I already messed up and, you know, the progress is done. No. Don't ever think that way. Like, there is always a way out. So think of this as a clean start. If you've been messing up and you've been just like wishy-washy, today is the day, okay? So we're gonna go at it Summer's around the corner and I want you guys to really, really focus. So ultra low carb from here until the summer, and you are going to see huge, huge results. Okay? So anyway, very easy recipe. I will leave that in the description below for you. I want you to try it. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear your comments on what you think of this bread, okay? So whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, whatever it is, let me know how you used it. And you never know, your comments can also give other people tips so that they can do that at home as well, because we're all in this together, and everything is super, super helpful, okay? But thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah.